I'm Dom. Welcome to my workshop. Good morning everyone and welcome to another video. Thank you for joining me first of all, I really do appreciate it. And we are going back to the Defender. There it is. I've got to get this thing finished. I promised myself I'll try and get it finished. I've actually got my brother, Dan, another Dan, coming down today. He is a genius. He's very, very clever. He's an electronic engineer. So I've started laying all the bits out. The coffee machine, the water pumps, the water tank, the filters and all that sort of stuff. We're gonna try and get all of it running on the bench. So outside of the Land Rover to start with, because Dan's gonna be helping me with the wiring looms and how we're gonna power this thing and all that sort of stuff. So he said he wants to get all of it working as it should be to work out which pump we need, how much the current the pump pulls and all that sorts of stuff. So it's much easier to do all that sort of stuff on the bench. By the time it comes to putting it in the car, we know it's all tried and tested and all working. He has got such a cool car. He always says he's going to come down in it, but then it ends up raining and he never turns up in it. He comes in his van instead. But today, fingers crossed, he'll turn up in the TVR and I'll show you. Here we go. That sounds like the rumble of the TVR. I think he's made it down. Dan, he's here. Hello. Oh, it sounds good. It still works. There was water everywhere, wires everywhere. I was trying to make the most of having Dan down and make the most of his time. I filmed as much as I could. It's pushing out more than it's sucking in.
Oh, we've got air again now. Why is it?
No. It's still not pulling anything. From day one, I've been worried about the practicalities of actually getting it working. Fabricating the shelves and the dividers and the screens, I can plug away and do that and fabricate things and make bits like that. That kind of is fine. The stress has been making the wiring looms, sorting out the wiring, the plumbing, getting all of this stuff actually practically working. Oh, here we go.
It's pulling in air. We're getting air up that?
No, because it's full of water.
This fit in here.
It's loose.
We haven't put any thread tape on that one.
This Defender coffee van is going to need to work. It's going to be their business. They're going to be using it every day. It needs to work. It needs to work well, efficiently, and be reliable. That's the most important thing. The tank that I've got, this is 40 litres. It's as big as I could fit in the space that I've got and that I would comfortably be able to put in the back of the Defender without worrying about a huge volume of water sloshing around in the back and the extra weight that's going to provide. And then I've basically got everything's out on the bench and I'm just trying to work out if all of these random components and pipes and fittings and things I've been gathering over the last year or so are actually the right ones. But that's kind of what today's for. Get it all plumbed in, fill the tank with water, and see if we can actually get water coming out of the coffee machine. No. Is it going up? They're very slowly. Really slowly though.
But it's flowing.
Oh.
It's flowing.
That got it then. Look. See, that's...
Yeah, and as soon as you put it down, it'll go back again probably. Because the water will run down. But there's not much flow because we're not going anywhere. It's only just like pressurising this sphere which is then leaking.
Oh, I see.
I think we need to deal with this leak now.
The pump that comes with this machine assumes you've got mains water pressure coming into it. The water comes into your house at a certain pressure. It's got a certain amount of pressure to it when it arrives. That's what sends it up, you know, to the loft and to the rooms upstairs. It's got a certain amount of pressure behind it already. This 40 litre tank of water that I've got has no pressure. So I can't just use this pump that comes with the machine. I have to have this second pump, which is a 12 volt pump. It's a very small, compact little unit. And I've been assured that that will suck the water out of the water tank, feed it through the pump, and then provide and push out the other end at enough pressure, which is there or thereabouts what mains pressure should be.
Yeah, so that's our control.
Ah!
So that's how it was.
Do I need like an inline pressure gauge here to know what?
No!
How do you know where to set that then?
Until it cuts out. So it's worked. There we go. We've got pressure. Well, we'll see if this pump's happy or not with that.
Because that needs a certain amount of pressure in. So I suppose you can.
We'll find out. If
so that gives the big one the pressure. The water pressure is really, really critical for getting a nice coffee. If it's not up to scratch and it's not quite enough pressure, you're never going to get a decent cup of coffee. So all the mechanical bits of what we're doing here are really, really important for the actual final taste of the coffee and the success of the business. So this is a big day. If it can get all of this working, it will be really, really good. So this doesn't seem to mind that it's sucking bits of air and bits of water. That's not really bothered.
It gets through it.
And then, so this hose now is full of pressure.
Yes.
Into there, and then, but it's not in here yet.
No,
because this hasn't run yet, because it's also not plugged in.
We're going to plug it in.
Okay, fine. If this soon starts getting air in there and air bubbles, and it's sucking in air bubbles, usually the pumps start to freak out a bit and don't work very well and eventually fail. This little pump is a sort of draw pump, so it's designed to suck from a tank and inevitably suck a bit of air every now and then. And it's absolutely fine to do that. It's a brilliant little thing, and it's just the job for this. After the first pump, there will be a filter which will filter the water. It's a proper big Brita filter, which is just the job again. That way they can fill this coffee machine up with whatever water they can find. Obviously not seawater. Any water they can find from any outdoor tap that's drinkable. That will remove anything that you don't really want in your coffee.
Big reveal.
Big reveal, exactly. Now it's getting complicated. The actual coffee machine has got a tank in the back, so that is where the water gets heated. Up until this point, the water is cold in the fresh water tank, in all the pipes, the pumps, and then when you press the button, it just lets out a little bit of water that's been heated in that tank. That in turn lowers the pressure that's in the tank. This pump recognises that and then turns on, pumps a bit more water in, and then increases it, fills it back up again. So now the tank is full and it's building pressure
actually in the tank as
here,
well,
towards here. So as I open that, that will go down.
And it's now cut out. And the
yeah, then that drops. When it gets to a certain, then the pump turns back on. But that's only the little wimpy one though.
This is the main event, yeah. Now, but at least that's keeping supply and pressure to this one.
So now this hose out there is pressured, so and that's the water's going from there through there without using the pump, and just so at the moment we're only at whatever pressure this can put out.
Okay, now we'll switch the big one on.
Oh, this is working well, this one.
Yeah.
As the main pump empties, the first pump fires back up and feeds it a bit more pressure from the mains pressure, and they all work together really, really well.
It sounds like that's stuck.
Yeah, this is...
Ah, yeah, you can see the motor. Right, so it's trying to run the pump, but the motor's stuck.
So now the motor's broken, great.
Well, maybe this hasn't turned in a long time.
It's been 2 years sitting here, so yes.
Maybe we'll just take that off there, and we'll just try and see if it spins without the pump on it.
Okay. I want to see the water.
Something go really wrong here, and then I'll get a face full of it.
Make sure I capture you on camera getting covered in water.
Should look at this.
This is your teaser video for getting on the repair shop.
No.
This is the trial video. No. You could do. It would be doing this. Look, you'd be fix the pump, figure this out.
I get paid for this already.
Yeah, but they pay you at the repair shop. But then do you not worry? I suppose this is only going to come on for a short burst to like up the power.
We hope so, because otherwise you're going to have problems with power in this bloody motor.
But then also it's going to empty this poor little. This one can't keep up. It will empty the hole. It will suck through this water.
That'll just suck through that if it needs to. Here we go. So nothing yet, because we're not on here.
Whoa!
Holy moly! Coffee's coming out. A little bit high in the pressure. No. Is that open? Why is it coming out there? Because
that's it. That's where it comes out.
that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
What's this one then?
That's it.
Oh, what's the shower?
That's for your tea, maybe.
That's just to have a shower.
That's for that's hot water. Because it's only doing that for making an espresso, a shot, isn't it?
So that runs the whole time you're making the coffee.
Which is, yeah. And then it cuts off.
Well, it should cut out on its own, it just when it cuts out when you push the button.
And then look, the pressure goes. But then as you turn it off, look, the pressure sits back at the green. Oh no, it doesn't.
I would have thought it should sit at the green and not go high.
Yeah. Right, that's why. That's what we wanted. And that little dial on the end there was to adjust the pressure that comes out this pump. That needs to be accessible just in case
something changes or the pump wears out.
Oh, perfect. But then that one doesn't turn on either, because it will drain the pressure here.
It will drain that pressure, and then try let it drain down, and then see that it gradually. Tank's still got plenty in it.
It's getting less. Hardly coming out now. But maybe it needs the hot water steam. The pressure from this water's still cold.
Maybe because we're cold, it needs to, if it had heat on it.
Then that would have its extra pressure.
Switched on, isn't it? Eh?
But then if you're doing a tea and you need to use the shower.
Try just let it go. It's like the restroom. Maybe when we overloaded it, it's killed it.
Well, it's broken, it's blown the fuse in the meter. Oh no. Right, this is where the plot thickens slightly. I'm trying to make life as simple and work as best as possible to cover as many eventualities as I can for the people that own this Defender. This is a dual fuel coffee machine, which basically means it's designed for situations like this. Yes, you can run it on the mains. It's got an electric heating element in there that will heat the water if you've got a 16 amp power supply. If you haven't, you can hook up the gas line, flick a switch, and then it will heat the water using the gas. What if they pull up to a wedding venue at an event and they've got 16 amp power there? There's enough power. I'm going to put a socket on the outside of the vehicle, and Dan has got, oh, let me grab the wiring diagram. Hang on 2 secs. Here we go. Right, so look, Dan's given me this. None of you can work that out. Basically, we're going to wire this thing up in such a way that if they turn up to an event and there is a 16 amp power supply there, they can plug it in the side, flick a switch on the machine and a big rotary switch in the back of the truck. Then they will be able to run everything purely on the external power, the 16 amp feed coming from them. They won't need to hook up the gas and they won't need any of that. Perfect, chicken dinner, you've got your power, you're away. You're not using your gas and you're not relying on anything else. What if you pull up at a car park at the beach and you're in the middle of a field and there's nothing? Dan's managed to work that out. So actually, I'm going to have 2 car batteries hidden inside. So this whole Defender will be completely standalone. Both these pumps will work, the machine will work, the grinder, the lights, everything will be powered by these 2 car batteries. They're going to be wired together for a bit of extra life. So it's ticking all the boxes. So I'm over the moon. I'm absolutely chuffed with it. Well, that's it, the end of a very busy day. Oh my God, stomach train every time. That's the end of a really busy day. It's been very productive with Dan. Thank you, Dan.
See you, guys.
See you later. Well, a couple of days have passed since Dan left. He left me with a very strict shopping list of expensive pieces of electrical equipment to buy, to order up, to get for the Land Rover coffee conversion. And the courier has just turned up. I always worry so much, even though Dan leaves me with very strict, childish-like instructions for what to order. I'm the one that actually has to click on the thing and order it, and I get terrified every time that I've actually ordered the wrong stuff completely. Sorry about that. Oh my God. Stay. This is 110 amp hour gel battery. It's got these really nice terminals that aren't like normal car battery terminals. They're threaded, so I can just put a big ring terminal and a bolt in there. 2 batteries. They're both 12 volt batteries, 110 amp hours. They're going to be wired in parallel, which means they'll both be linked together, and that will give me 220 amp hours, but it will still be 12 volts. It basically means the way you wire them together means it stays 12 volts, but they'll just last longer. So you could put 2, 3, 4, depending on how long you need the batteries to last. If you wired them in series, it will become 24 volts. So I think that's right, but I'm definitely not an electrician. Dan, if you're watching, I'm sorry if I've got it all wrong. These 2 batteries are going to be wired up in parallel, and that's going to make us a lot of coffee. That will last a long, long time. All this is really powering are the pumps, and they only come on when you're actually making the espresso and it's pumping the water. So there's really not that much sort of electricity used. So I think they should last all day without too much trouble at all. But I'm looking forward to testing. I'll have to drink lots of coffees and see how long they last. Here we go. Charger. All right. This is posh, this one. This is a good sign. UK, yes. 12 volts, yes. Mains power, yes. Looks good. This is an inverter. So this was the expensive bit. That was quite a lot of money, this one. This converts the 12 volts from the batteries and makes them 240 volts because the pump and the coffee machine and the grinder need 240 like household mains power. So this clever little box controls all of that and converts it. So two 12 volt batteries, an inverter to convert that 12 volt into 240 volt, and a charger to charge the two batteries. For the people that own this Land Rover, when they finish the event or the night before the event, they can plug this in at their house and charge the batteries up. It'll take a while because there's two big batteries. It'll take overnight probably. Also, if they're at a venue, if they're at an event that has power, they can plug themselves in all day, still use the coffee machine through all of this equipment and charge the batteries at the same time. So I'm trying to cover all eventualities here. These are both made by Victron. This is not a sponsored ad. I paid for these all of my own money, but I've used Victron stuff before on the repair shop sign. So there's actually a second repair shop sign up at the cafe in the museum for like a sort of photo opportunity. And I've made that in such a way it's got the same two big car batteries in the bottom of it. So they can wheel it around and park it in the middle of the field, and those 250 bulbs or however many bulbs are in it will stay lit all day, running on battery power. It's not everything you need because there's a few more bits on my shopping list that haven't turned up yet. There's a really posh, like a rotary switch to control it, switch it from gas to electric, and this external waterproof socket that I haven't found a nice one yet. So if anyone's got any good recommendations for an external 16 amp socket, let me know. This wall is going to be closed off. That is already closed off. It's going to carry on down all the way, so you won't be able to see in there. Same for that side. And then the coffee machine is going to be sitting there. So that aperture at the back there will be accessed from the cab. There you go. So this area here, that's where the water tank, the pumps, and all the bits and bobs are going to go. So just underneath there, look how perfect that is. Both batteries sitting under there absolutely perfectly. I'm just going to make a couple of brackets to sort of like straps or something like that to hold them down and strap them in place so they can't move. That's really good news. And then all the wiring for the batteries can come up out here and up the wall, and then charger mounted to the wall, inverter mounted to the wall. Somewhere here maybe will be the big rotary switch that you can reach from the cab, because the front's only here. All the wiring from the switch to the charger to the inverter down to the batteries, out and then into the back of the coffee machine. The water pipes can come from the coffee machine and back out here through the floor. It's all contained in this really nice, neat, small area. Things are starting to take shape. Oh, it's a good feeling. I just need to hurry up and get all the stainless steel cladding in, and then I can start mounting all of these pieces for good. But it's looking so neat, and that vision that I had in my head all this time is really starting to become a reality, which is so rewarding. Now I'm over this hurdle, and Dan, thank you so much for helping me get over that hurdle. There'll be many more Defender updates coming very soon. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment, any feedback below. Make sure you're subscribed and give us a thumbs up. Nice one. See you soon.